Right, hello folks, welcome. So let's get a nice position there. Bear with us a minute, folkies. We're trying our best to get everything. I think I might need to come a little bit closer.
Yeah, thanks.
It might be awkward for me to get by bloody thing, but we will try.
Well, I'm watching it now, but yeah.
Hoping.
Might want to tilt it down.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I think what I might do is just lower it
Yeah. Lower
because
the
it's
legs
going to
down
be
a
a
little
bit
bit.
of a pig otherwise.
Well, we're setting up. So,
Bear with
welcome,
us, folks.
welcome to the shed, folks. Welcome to TWEX HQ. And yeah, I'm just sort of looking at myself at the moment, and yeah, just trying to see,
Okay, Jeffrey, hello, mate.
Hey, Jeff, hi, mate.
Right, unfortunately, folks, I can't control the chat because obviously I'm going to be over there. So Adam's going to be in charge of the chat for me, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm just
Yeah.
going to get by
Yeah,
a
it's
minute,
kind of
folks.
awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
Hang on,
it's
we're going to be a bit cag-handed minute.
we're all over the place here, yeah. Right, so we have limited.
Are you in view?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, you are yourself. Look, I can show you there, mate. Yeah, there you go. Don't forget to look at the folks. How's it going then, everybody?
Hope everybody's good.
Good. And hope everything's good with you, Jeff, mate.
Is the camera wonky, is it?
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah.
Slightly wonky. Well,
Nothing like live, candid camera,
we're going to
folks.
adjust the camera slightly, folks. Yeah, hi, Claire Bonetta. Hello. And so we got Claire Bonetta, Jeffrey Carson. Yeah, and so we're going to talk about what we've been doing recently. I'm going to turn that volume down a minute because there's a bit of an echo there. So we've been down to an ROC post. That was it's been a few weeks since we've been there, a couple of weeks I think since we've been there, but it's just been difficult with time and finding
Life.
life gets in the
Yeah.
way, folks, and obviously we're both of us have jobs, and but we are going to go back there. Now, when we were there, we did an amazing bit of work down there, didn't we?
Good team effort, folks.
We cleared out all of the sludge, the muck. We pumped it out dry, and once we started lifting the rubber flooring in the RAC,
Is that Dunlop
I
flooring?
believe it's made by Dunlop.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps maybe somebody can throw a bit more light on that. But yeah, obviously the RAC posts, the active ones that were active up until 1991, then they had this rubber like matting on the floor in there, and I mean, I know I've seen in other posts that the observers and stuff, they used to bring bits of their own sort of carpet and try and furnish it out a bit, make it a bit more
Yeah, a bit more
bearable.
home comfort sort of thing.
Yeah. But no, it's yeah. So we've done that, and I think ambitions for the future with it is we're going to go back down there, and hopefully Monty, our friend Monty, is going to come with us.
Hi,
and
Monty.
if you're out there, Monty, hi mate. And we're going to fix the sump pump. Now Monty has got a brand new sump pump, isn't he?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's identical to the original.
Yeah, and we're really hoping that we can obviously remove the one that's seized and jammed up and put, not discard it, but possibly maybe overhaul it or whatever. But fit this new pump.
I think that they were maintained to a very high standard, and I should imagine once we take it apart, there'll be grease and everything.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
It's just probably a bit of surface rust that's popped.
Probably a bit of surface rust, But the other thing we were concerned about as well is whether actually the pipe work is, from the sump going up, whether it's got a blockage in it or whatever.
Yeah, it's possible.
And I know Monty said about possibly we'd like to lift up the rubber matting and pressure wash the floor underneath. That might be a bit difficult, I think, with the pressure washer, isn't it?
I think it would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we inside, folks, I don't know if you notice if you watch the video, but there is these polystyrene form of insulation which was common in the 90s. Like my in-laws, my wife's parents in their old house, they had that on the ceiling, like a lot of folks still do, and it is a form of insulation. And most ROC posts back in the early 90s, late 80s had all these. And if we do use a jet wash, and I think Adam would agree with this,
Yeah,
it's highly likely that these will just blast off and
yeah,
they'll
that's
be
right.
destroyed.
We don't want to damage the polystyrene tiles on the walls. And
Yes,
stuff.
we've got to try and
yeah.
preserve them. So
And obviously we tried to dry it out as much as we can.
yeah, I think to be honest, when we go down there next, it will be fairly
Yeah,
dry
yeah.
because we got a lot of water.
Yeah,
out, didn't
we did get a lot, pretty much all
Yeah.
of the water.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't realise was that the floor seems to be designed so it naturally slopes slightly.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
So,
for drainage.
Yeah,
folks.
all the water goes
Yeah.
into that sump.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it wasn't completely flooded out when we were,
yeah.
in there. It was all mainly by the shaft at the bottom of the
What would you
ladder.
reckon? About 6 to 8 inches deep.
Yeah, I'd say about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah. But
That dirty water pump I've got, it
Yeah.
performed sterlingly.
and Monty's generator as well. We had
Yeah.
a generator, and we proper 240-volt generator, a hefty one.
Yeah,
And
I've got one, but it's not that big.
we were able to actually pump out the water, and I think the problem was initially was we couldn't get the pump to submerge deep enough in the
Yeah,
water.
we had to lift the grate out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was
You
the only
did that,
one with
didn't
wellies actually.
Yeah, we had these famous boots.
Yeah, it's pretty grim. Yeah. I got some. I can reach one for you. Some excellent. These were virgin. They've only been used once. These are the gloves, and I can testify for these after being in that post for most of the day cleaning out the muck, folks. Then 100% waterproof.
Essence of
Definitely.
ROC
Yeah. There was some stuff in there I didn't want to touch. I didn't want
Well,
to.
there was something dead down there, which was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah,
But we got to sort that hatch out at some
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Let's go say hello to a few folks a minute.
Have we got many in, have we?
Yeah, we got 11
11.
people.
Hello, folks.
Yeah, so
Hello.
we got Mrs. Kerno. Hello,
Hello.
Mrs. Kerno.
Hello, Mr. Kernow.
Abandoned and Forgotten Wales.
Hello, mate. How you
All right.
doing? You right?
And yeah,
Next year we're coming up, mate. So we're going to rendezvous with you.
yeah. Well, that'll be good. I look forward to seeing whatever's going on there. Like yeah. So
Yeah.
just keeping an eye on the chat. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought I've actually come to the conclusion. I've not said this to you yet, but I've come to the conclusion that we need to venture into England.
Yes, we need to go
You know,
further afield,
further
folks.
afield.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, I actually do own a Bedford Rascal Roma home,
Wow.
and next year well, basically what it is. It's a Bedford Rascal van with a living pod on the back, and the grand plan is to get it to a stage where it's fit for an MOT, which will be next year.
Yeah, MOT. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And then we're gonna go traveling, folks. We're gonna have a solar system in it, diesel heater. We're gonna have a TV in it. We've already got internet, so we don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do a tour. I think our first port of call will be Devon,
Devon.
and then after
yeah.
that we're going to Wales because there's loads up
Yeah.
there, loads of it.
I've been up to Wales years ago before I used to sort of do any kind of videos as well, and there are some incredible places up there.
Oh yeah, especially North
Yeah.
Wales. You know.
I mean, I
There's a
remember
Festiniog.
there's one place that caught my attention, and it's been sort of like preserved and recreated. It was a place called Glenavon.
Glenavon, yeah.
Glenavon.
Glenavon.
Apologies to anybody in
It's,
Wales.
there's
if I'm
also
not
a
saying it
place called
properly.
Paris Mountain,
Yeah,
and I think Taffy. Have you heard of Taffy?
yeah, I've heard of him.
I think
Yeah,
Taffy's from there,
yeah.
so it'll be nice to meet up with Taffy at some
And
stage.
The
You know.
ironworks, that was it.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Naval Ironworks.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It's
the
like a
Welsh Highland Railway does actually go right next to
yeah,
it. So,
I mean, it's
you know.
like a village, and all the houses where the workers lived, and all, they're all been restored,
Yeah,
and,
no,
and
that's just
yeah,
magic,
and the original
Yeah.
foundry bit where they would have smelted the iron and stuff and poured it into molds and things. That's incredible.
Yeah.
incredible
The
stuff.
difference with Cornwall and Wales is I know we're Celtic brothers, but in Cornwall, most of the industrial archaeology with the engines has all been robbed away, scrapped.
Yeah.
But in Wales, there's loads of metalwork and everything basically still there, which
Too
is
many
amazing.
thieving copper thieves.
Well, yeah,
But
yeah,
steal their grannies, wouldn't they? Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Unfortunately,
so
yeah.
no. I'd be so plenty of cool mines in Wales. Yeah, well, I mean, that'd be cool.
Well, Abandoned and Forgotten Wales, he actually goes underground. quite a
Oh,
lot.
right, yeah. So you,
And
yeah,
he's obviously seen what we've been up to, haven't you, mate?
yeah.
But
Well,
he is the next level as far as I'm concerned because he does rope access, and we do a little
Yeah.
bit of rope. It's the SRT bit for me, mate. I'm getting old and a bit wimpy in the arm.
Scratch one Victorian tunnel and a couple of the bunker. Do you remember that bunker down in Falmouth, the searchlight bunker?
Oh God!
Oh my God, that
Oh, no.
was. It was only a very sort of like short.
Oh, I was panicking,
Yeah.
folks.
It was probably, I would say
Oh,
that
fucking hell!
what it was a ventilation shaft. There's no ladder inside it. No way. I mean, you were never really meant to get down that, were you? Because it was like a breather. It was basically a large room that's been. I don't think it was underground when it was in use.
No, it wasn't.
It's been backfilled and
Yeah.
earth on top of it. And
Yeah,
the only way to get inside it is you actually climb on
rope
a rope
access, basically.
down a ventilation shaft.
Yeah, what I've done, folks, is I've got rock climbing gear. I've got pretty much all of it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I rigged up this pulley system where we just lower ourselves down because you know if you've got a pulley, and a pulley, if you
Yeah.
pull it, you just pull a little bit and you can lift a great weight. Well, that's what I was trying to rig up, but it didn't really work.
But I think I probably fared well, better than the Kerno and Darren because obviously I managed to kind of, I'm only little and I managed to jam myself in there and kind of like bit like one of those.
I think going down was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was coming up.
I was like something stuck in a pipe. Yeah, but I managed to get out of it, and
Oh, fuck.
so I managed to get down in it. But once I got in it was worth it. And
Oh,
if
yeah.
anybody wants to see the video, then
Check out.
it's on TWEX.
We'll put the link in
and,
later, folks. Yeah.
And Mark's also done it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
On Kerno XT.
Since then I have actually bought a collapsible ladder, but it's only 6 foot, so I need to get a longer one. We're going to be getting that early next year, folks. So I think we will do a revisit, but next time we'll use the collapsible ladder, which will save a lot of bloody balling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
going down is Abandoned and Forgotten Wales. Going down is easy. Getting back
Getting
up
up,
is
mate.
that's the
Getting
hard bit. Yeah. So
yeah.
So I've yet personally though I've been down a couple of like touristy tin mines. The nice and safe wussy ones that all the visitors go down like. But I am I am a Cornish mine virgin. I've not been. I've not been down any shafts or
Well, you'll have to come with me,
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
and
But
David.
yeah, we will do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
me, Chris, and
yeah.
David, who are the original crew, we've been down quite a bit, folks. And this year we went down to a well-known mine. I'm not going to mention it by name, but we went right to deep level, which is probably about just over 200 meters down. And we went off in an adit system, probably 300 meters. But it's always best to go down in numbers. Essential to wear a hard hat. We had a gas detector, we had CB radios, we had people on surface that knew exactly where we were, and we was using harnesses and ropes. So it's just sensible. You've got to wear a helmet. If you're going to do that sort of thing, you must wear a helmet. It's essential. And of course, have 2 lights, one for normal use and one for backup. There you go.
Did you just hear a whistle?
Yeah,
then?
that was the phone that had a message.
Oh right. Oh yeah. That was really weird. I thought I
No,
was
it's
hearing
not
things.
paranormal.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Yeah, paranormal. That's the next
Paranormal.
one. Yeah, paranormal. Well, obviously, my channel is mostly about exploring and motorbikes and general sort of like historical sort of engineering and stuff. But obviously, I know my good colleague here, Kerno EXP. He is rather good and quite brazen as well with
Well,
his,
well, to be honest, I have learnt a lot over the last year or two.
Yeah.
It's really down to the encouragement from Ghost Adventures of Cornwall. So thank you, Mark, for the encouragement.
And I think I've been working with Kerno for well over a year now, isn't it, mate?
It's coming on
Yeah,
a couple
so,
of years, isn't it? Yeah.
And that was the first time of actually. I mean, we actually thought, yeah,
Actually
okay,
going out and looking
going
for
out
it.
and,
Yeah.
and looking for it, and I can honestly say I definitely believe in it because I've witnessed and seen some weird things, and you know, especially on not just on your videos, but when
Well,
we
together.
when we've been out.
Yeah, yeah. And we never
Yeah.
asked for it. Like, for instance, Hen Hill Camp.
Oh God, yeah, that really did scare the hell out of me. That one.
The
mate,
thing
yeah.
is with that one, folks, it
Yeah.
wasn't just Hut 62, was it?
No,
No.
well, the first time we went to Pennell Camp, obviously what's left of it, the closed Pennell Camp, then basically there was the power was on in most of the huts and buildings, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And that included everything. It was outside lights, interior lights. I don't know about the sockets. We didn't actually
No, I
try
didn't
those,
try
did we? But
those, no, but
the overhead lighting in all of the buildings and stuff was working, and it did feel quite sort of definitely strange because it was like a full-on army camp, but everybody had just gone
yeah,
somewhere,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
But the next time we went back there, they were obviously getting it ready for demolition, and they turned all of the power off, folks. And I swear that I think in a funny sort of way, the electricity being there was obviously like a barrier, maybe perhaps stopping the paranormal activity. But when the power was all turned off everywhere on the camp, then,
Apart from the street lights going up in the main
yeah,
lane,
that was
wasn't
the
it?
only. I think that's
Yeah,
probably just
yeah,
for
yeah.
security. Wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe perhaps they're fed off of the street lamps for the local houses
It's
or
possible.
whatever.
It's possible. Yeah.
but
yeah.
yeah, once that power was off, it came alive, didn't it? It was all
Yeah.
kinds of weird things
Well,
going on.
we was coming because we've been a few times now, and of course my crew has been a few times, and we're going to go back one more time before Christmas, folks. I'm not going to tell you when we're going back, but it will be before Christmas.
Adrian,
Hi, Adrian. All right, mate.
all right.
Now me and Adam was there. Was it the last time where that door slammed?
Oh God, yes, that was the very last time we went there,
Because
wasn't it?
we went
Yeah.
to the memorial.
Yeah.
Because in case you didn't know, during World War II, that was active, of course.
Yeah.
And a German bomber came over, and it dropped a load of bombs, and it killed quite a few soldiers. And
And yeah,
we were. Well, I'll let you explain.
Well, just say the soldiers had just come back from Dunkirk, and they were obviously recuperating. And it was just one single German bomber, and I think what happened was it was obviously looking for, I think, Perranporth airfield, which would have been the nearest airfield, and decided just to jettison its bombs and randomly. And you know, the aircraft, the German bomber wasn't challenged in any way; it was just a free flight. And they've jettisoned the bombs, and then all of a sudden, two of the huts were taken out. I think was it 25 or 30 of them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
it
was
was a number.
yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
number.
And
So we were paying our respects basically because we're both very interested in World War II and anything military basically. And right at the crucial moment, there was no wind that night, was there?
no,
No, it was
No.
a still night, and the door went bang.
oh yeah, and
And
it all kind of happened when we went to look at that memorial, and obviously having done the research and known about what happened there, that was that camp right the way from World War II. That's probably the only thing that ever happened there.
yeah,
You know, I mean, okay, there may have been, you know, there's no way of knowing, but there may have been accidental loss of life or something at some point. But that was the only sort of like probably the largest loss that was sustained there.
yeah.
And
yeah.
I was convinced it was definitely connected, the activity, because everything was,
Yeah.
it was an eerie feeling until we
Yeah.
got there, wasn't it? But when we
Yeah.
went to that memorial, stood there and looked at it,
Yeah, you could feel the hair
Yeah.
standing up on your back,
Yeah.
and
and
it-
when we turned away as well, we turned away to walk away from it, and that's when we heard the door.
the door,
that-
and it was forcefully
Yeah.
done. It was like if I was
Yeah.
to grab on the door up there and really
Yeah.
give it the beans, folks. It was that.
It was the big
You
heavy
know.
door. I think it was the door on the guard room.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
wasn't
the
it? It was
guard
a big
room.
heavy wooden door.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, there was a bit of wind blowing down, but that door
There's no
opened.
way
The
that would.
door opened inwards.
Yeah, there's no way that
No.
that would.
No,
You know.
no. So the wind,
So-
you would have thought if the door, the door opened outwards, and so the wind was blowing down the row of buildings, and obviously,
Yeah. So what?
Yeah.
So the door. Say this is the building here, and the door was open like that, and the wind was going that way. There's no way that that door would go the opposite way, would there? It's just impossible.
yeah, we've got 12,
So-
12 folks on now.
I've either 12 folks. You're
Oh
right.
yeah, BCTV. Yeah, we do have opinions, and but we don't we don't ever force our opinions on anybody else.
No.
Basically,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to know, then we'll tell you. And that's just how it is. And obviously,
And of course,
Yeah.
folks, I'm not being rude, but high risk explorers that we do, I will not give them out
no,
up to anyone
No.
outside of our community.
yeah,
I'm sorry
dangerous
about that.
dangerous
You know.
locations or sensitive locations.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the RAC post we've been to. That's sustained a lot of vandalism in the past. And
Yeah.
we're really lucky with that one because it's been sealed up for years, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
20 years or more, isn't it?
sealed up for a long time. And Liam, hello. Yeah, so yeah, it's been sealed up for a long time, that one. And our friend Monty, he's been liaising with the landowners, and they actually agreed to open it up for us to go in there and actually do some good, to try and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. They've been very accommodating. So,
I mean,
so
perhaps
thank you.
the long-term ambition is to try and restore the post as best
Yeah.
as we can, and then
Yeah.
open it up to visitors,
Yeah. And if visitors wanted to give a donation
Yeah.
towards keeping it in good order,
because
they could.
I think there's only one restored RAC post in Cornwall, isn't there? The whole of the
Yeah. I
county.
think that's National Trust. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one at where's that? That's Verian.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically over on the Roseland, folks, which is about 25 miles from where we are now, roughly. So, going back to the paranormal, just briefly again, we've had other things happen which were unexplainable. What's the chat like, mate? Is it all good?
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, BCTV has asked a question, so he's saying a different videographer with opinions. I have a question. I think there is an old temporary road between Stamps Lane off Chariot Road and an old shelter there from my school days, but I can't find it. Have you looked into this one?
Is that Red Roof, mate?
Is that Red Roof? Yeah, maybe if you can clarify with us,
'Cause I know
where
Red
you're
Roof.
on about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know that does sound like Red Roof to
Mm.
me, but yeah, if I'm thinking, I probably know where that is. So yeah, just going on the paranormal just briefly again.
Yeah.
Me and Adam, as you may know, are very interested in history,
Yeah.
engineering, and most things World War II. Now we was at Dry Tree, which is next to Goonhilly Earth Station, and we went there
Yeah.
in your bus, I think it was.
That's what. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a chain home radar station, and I think it's got one of the things quite sad about it is a few years ago there was a local group that had basically the whole site is just impenetrable thick vegetation, and I think there's a lot of rhododendrons, which is I'm told is very very difficult to clear and
They're quite invasive,
keep
aren't
on
they?
top of.
Mm.
And the local group they cleared out the site completely, and it was all wide open and clear. And I think they even went as far as restoring the main transmitter block,
Yeah,
or sorry, the main receiver block.
that's the bit where we were. on
Yeah,
top
yeah,
of.
that was with the
Yeah,
doors and the windows on it,
Yeah,
and to use it to try and use it as like a education centre and stuff. And then that's as
Ah,
far as they got, really,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
it? And then it's just stopped and reverted to nature again.
Yeah. Well, I went there before we made contact, and the door was open, folks, and I naturally just went in and had a look, and I thought,
Oh.
this door has been forced.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he's saying BCTV is saying Ilagan Highway.
Oh.
Ilagan Highway.
Oh right.
Oh, we're not sure about that one, mate. We'll have to look into that. Yeah, but thanks for.
If you
Yeah.
want to send us any info or even a Google Maps pinpointer, you can go on Facebook and go on Kernow EXP, the group, search it out, and you can share some info with us, and we'll go into it, and we'll do some digging for you.
I've got to be. I've got to apologise, okay, because I've misinterpreted something.
Oh, okay.
BCTV, a different videographer with opinions. That's actually your the name you've got on YouTube. And it comes up on your Yeah, I do apologise about that, mate. I thought to myself, I thought, wow, I didn't realise it was. Yeah, that's your name, mate. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so if you're on Facebook, mate, search out Kernout EXP, the Facebook group,
Yeah.
and send a request to join, and we'll accept
Yeah.
you, and then give us an update about what you just said, and we will research it for you.
Yeah, you will also find a two-wheel exploration
And there's a
Facebook group.
Facebook group,
Yeah.
so please head along to TWEX
Yeah.
as well.
I mean, obviously, like, if people are interested, I with my Facebook account for TWEX, I like to put first instant photographs on. So if we go somewhere and do an explore,
Yeah.
you'll get a chance to see what we're, some photographs before we've even made the video, basically. So you can get a bit of an insight, into it. And it's a private group, so you have to join, and but also anybody's welcome to put any comments on there or add anything they want to.
Or if you've got somewhere that you would like to see us explore or even drone it, because obviously I do fly drones. I haven't done anything this week with the drone, unfortunately. Life's got in the way, folks. Also, I have an Instagram account, and that is basically Kernout EXP. So if you want to contact us via Instagram, you can do that as well. I do upload quite regular on that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. So, well, we've got 14 folks there.
14. Hello, 14. 14.
Hello, 14 folks. Thanks for joining us anyway. The paranormal thing, also a bit of a step in a new direction, really.
Yeah, we're not going to push him into it too much, but he's sampled it.
Definitely.
I'm hoping you'll be coming again.
Well, hopefully, I think I've got the right attitude, because obviously, I mean, I'm not really cynical of it. I've seen stuff and I'm aware of it, and it's actually made me, it's opened my eyes, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, seeing is believing, isn't it?
But I mean, I would never, force it on anybody.
No, of course, if you don't believe in it.
No, I never tell anybody, oh yeah, that is definitely the truth. That's what happened. I mean, it's down to the folks that watch the videos to make your own mind up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So just covering RAF Dry Tree again. So me and Adam went down, and we've been down there probably a couple of times now. And on one particular time, we was going in through the blast wall, where the main area was, and there was a voice that came through.
That was the main receiver block, which is like basically the biggest sort of like it's a funny sort of concrete reinforced building.
Yeah,
it's got like an extra wall all the way around it to protect it from blast. And I know there was a lot of WAFs down there in World War II, which is Women's Royal Air Force, and there was also men as well, and it was quite heavily defended on the ground as well. So I mean, you've got the the RF regiment, I think, were down there.
Yeah, so my friend Chris knows the people that own the farm down the far end where they were billeted. Yeah. So I think, not at the moment, but I think we can get permission to have a look around there.
That'd be great.
Officially. Because it's always best to seek permission, folks.
We've got Damien Butterworth. Hi, mate.
Hello. I do try to seek permission, but sometimes you just got to go with the seat of the pants and just go with it. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere with it.
Yeah. That's it.
We do know the law regarding civil trespass, and of course, if I were to be seen by the owner and they asked me to leave, then I will leave. Definitely.
I think definitely Kernout's probably a bit braver than me there, but
well, we've had some trials and tribulations of late. That's why the videos have been a bit slow, but it's all good, folks. There's nothing to worry about.
But I've also done a bit of green laning as well, which is basically on the motorbike. Where using the public byways, the ones that are vehicular authorised, because you get a byway that's got restricted traffic, which basically means no vehicles going down it, and also you've got what they call a byway open to all traffic, and it's always quite funny, actually, because I've only ever had a couple of instances where I've come across somebody who's convinced that I should be there with the bike, but obviously you can show them on the map, and it still doesn't make any difference. I mean, some people despite the fact that my bike is quiet and I'm not tearing up the dirt or anything or going along at an alarming speed. But yeah, apart from that, really, I've not really had any sort of like
Yeah.
problems. But I think I've got a good eye really for sussing somewhere out, and if it's a bit too hot,
Well,
then,
what I tend to use, folks, I'm sure Adam does as well, is Google Maps.
yeah, Google Maps, yeah,
And this is why I find what I find basically. Behind the scenes, it takes me ages to search out a location, because what I normally do is I normally check Google Maps, and then what I normally do is I go to the location, go on public land, take the drone up and spin it around just to check if it is what I think it is, and then we go in and have a look.
yeah.
But
Edwin Thompson, thank you, mate. Yeah,
hello, Edwin.
He says hello. Extraordinary great vid you put out on air. Thanks. Yeah, no, brilliant.
You're
It's
welcome,
nice
Ed. You're
nice to
welcome.
have some feedback. And obviously, I think my motivation really when I do a video about anything is being individual and not trying to be like,
No, don't go with the crowd.
yeah, not trying to be like another YouTuber, not trying to copy someone or do the same style. I do my style, and I know Kerno does the same with his,
Yeah.
and I think over time it becomes like your signature, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
people probably can tell,
Yeah.
even if you didn't, put the video out and you didn't, didn't say who did it, then maybe some of the
Yeah,
folks would be able to know, oh, that's Kerno EXP's
I
video.
don't know if you noticed, but I've updated the way I start a video, because I'd like to thank Sheldon of Classic Britain. Thanks, mate. He suggested that when I start a video is to interact with you audience. So you get the fizzog first, say, hello folks, it's Kerno here.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, that has been paying off,
Yeah.
showing the fizzog, i.e. the face.
Yeah. Well,
And then at the end of the video, sometimes I show the face, or sometimes I put a bit of
yeah.
audio at the end.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago, really, and I actually looked. I think I only had about 50 subscribers, probably less than that.
Yeah.
And I've had a great deal of help as well from obviously Kerno and people who know Kerno, and the whole YouTube thing is a brand new experience for me.
Yeah. Well,
I've
you've
never
done well. I don't know what
done
many
it
subscribers
before.
are on there. Is it 160?
Yeah, 165. I think.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's
Thank
nuts.
you. Thank you for
Thank you
subscribing.
very much. It's just kind of snowballed, and I don't know. I mean, I think we've well, we're never going to grow up, but we're grown up enough to know that we don't have anything to prove, and we don't have big ideas. We just have realistic ones.
Yeah. Well,
You
I've been. I don't know about Adam, but I know Adam's been riding bikes longer than me, folks. But I started riding bikes back in 2002. But I rid them before that, but that was illegal.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
It's just something different about being on
Yeah.
a bike. I just love it, and I'll always have a bike, and I'll always will ride a bike,
Thank you, Abandoned and Forgotten Wales, mate. He's put a link up to my channel. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that. But yeah, I remember my very first ever motorbike ride was with my grandfather. I wasn't on the front of it. My grandfather had a Honda 90.
Oh, well,
And
that's familiar.
it was an old Honda 90, and my dad used to drop me off round at my granddad's house on a Friday night, and my granddad had this bike, but it was a bit of a thing because he kept selling it and then buying it back, if you know what I mean. So he was in two minds about getting rid of it. Well, this particular day, I went to my granddad, and he was there. And he said, come on, boy. He said, keep your coat on. He said, we went out and we got on this Honda 90. And what was meant to be a test run was actually fun because we were riding it down back lanes and knocking over dustbins and scaring cats.
Do you know what,
Yeah,
folks? I've got a similar thing because I grew up just outside of Redruth, and there was some old lanes down there. Now, Dean Stone, if you're watching, mate, you'll remember this, and Kevin Woodley. We had a Honda 90 and we had a Honda Vision, the really old one. We clubbed together and bought it off this old dear. And then we went up and down the old lanes, and we used to cause havoc. And then this their chap come out. He said, "Excuse me, do you realise you shouldn't be riding up and down there?" We went, "Fuck off, you stupid cunt."
yeah.
But you know, back in the 80s, folks, we all did it, didn't we?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
We all did it.
I actually remember the first time I got stopped by the police. I think I was only like 16 on a twist and go scooter, and it was complete false alarm because I was going along slowly. I think it was on the way home from college or something like
All
that.
right, yeah.
And there's this police car behind me, and I pulled over into the lay-by because I sort of looked over my shoulder and noticed the headlamps were flashing on the police car, and I thought, oh, here we go. I was actually legal as well. I had nothing to hide or anything, and I stood there, I switched the bike off. The copper got out, he walked up to me and he said, "Are you all right, mate?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm fine." "Yeah," I said, "I'm fine." He said, "We weren't actually after you." He said, "We wanted you to move out the way so we could get to the car in front of you."
Ah, bloody hell.
Yeah, but at 16 years old, that's that's a bit of a hairy one, like, you know, to try and get
Yeah.
into, like, you know. But yeah, so I think
Crazy.
the RAC post. So what do you think we're going to do next time we go back there?
I think next time it's basically a bucket with soap
Yeah,
and water,
clean it. Yeah,
and maybe just clean the mats.
yeah, clean the floor.
And
Yeah,
just a general
And,
tidy
yeah,
up.
yeah,
A little bit more, perhaps.
and
You know.
apologies to Monty as well. You know,
I should be seeing Monty soon because I'm buying
Yeah.
something off him.
right. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
All right.
GoPro 10.
Oh, GoPro 10.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fabulous.
I'm
Yeah.
buying it off
Well,
Monty.
if Monty's on, I don't know if he's on or
I
not,
don't
but
know.
I've also got something for Monty as well.
Uh-huh.
Now, one of the things, I don't know if anybody noticed in our video of the when we were down at the RAC post as well, me and Kerno, we were wearing these khaki green boiler suits. Yeah. Well, they are the same type of boiler suits that was issued to the Observer Corps to use in the posts, basically, to keep themselves clean and stuff.
Well, actually, when I was in the Air
Yeah.
Cadets, folks, that's what I wore.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
the
we
same
had
now. I
them,
mean, I
yeah.
think it even says RAF in the label
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Like,
it's
you know?
magic.
Yeah.
So you've got one for Monty, is it? What's
Yeah,
that?
I've got one
What's
from one.
that?
Oh, BCTV. It says, "I'm trying to up my subs. Can I share my link, please?" Yeah, of course
go
you
ahead,
can.
mate.
Yeah, it's your show.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, what have I done?
If he's deleted it, mate, just do
Yeah,
it again, and
yeah.
Adam will allow it because you're a mod, aren't you? So-
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Please,
Resend it, mate.
Sorry, I think I accidentally done that, and you know, anybody that's you know that gets to know me, I am at times a bit of a technical dum folks, and you know, if
Well,
it's
I'm not 100%.
I mean, if it's not got a carburetor, a spark plug, or a set
And
of
some wheels.
handlebars, then it's
and some rubber.
it's a bit too complicated for me, like, you know. But
Resend the link, mate.
Yeah,
We'll do it.
yeah,
Or if you're a moderator, please accept
yeah,
it.
please accept it. Yeah, that's great.
'Cause
Yeah,
there's a few mods in there. I believe.
yeah, we've got some moderators on there as well, and yeah, abandoned, forgotten Wales. Thank you, and yeah, so we're going to go and clean the ROC post, and then we're probably the next step, I reckon, is if Monty's with us again, we'll get that pump working. You know?
Yeah, the hand pump.
Yeah, get that sump pump going,
Yeah.
and that means then
Mm.
that, you know, because the hatch is it no longer hinges, does it?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
probably
try and
sort something out
find
with that.
find out a way of trying to repair
And
that.
maybe
And,
secure it with a proper lock.
Yeah, try and you know, secure it with a proper lock,
Yeah.
and then maybe start like on some of the once it's clean in there as well.
Reconstructing probably some of the furniture that was there.
Yeah, we've got to make a new door, haven't we, for the toilet?
Yeah.
We've got to get a new door made up
Yeah.
for the
We
toilet.
should be able to do that.
Yeah, this is basic things, and you know, perhaps if there's anybody out there nearer the time, perhaps if there's anybody out there who's any good
I
with
do know somebody
carpentry,
that,
you know.
I do know a joinery,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is local, but I need to ask him and see if he'll do it for mates race.
Yeah, that would be great.
But,
Yeah, you know, so we're gonna clean it out, and you know,
Maybe in the future, folks. I don't know how Adam feels about it, but we might do an overnighter there.
yeah,
you
that
know,
would be quite good.
because I do have an army style bed.
Yeah.
So that would be quite good.
Yeah,
And
so-
between us, we've got quite a lot
Yeah.
of kit, folks, as you can imagine.
But once we can get the posts sort of you know
Clean.
clean, and then we can sort of titivate the inside, maybe some of filler over it and a repaint, maybe,
Yeah,
you know, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. I would like to finance the painting of the exterior and some sand and cement to basically tidy up the outside to make it look nice. But that's going to be a little bit in the future yet, folks, because we need to you know obviously clean it out like Adam said, and we've got a few things to do there. So, but yeah, it will be coming. There will definitely be some videos of that. Well, before Christmas, you'd say, yeah.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, so it should be good. Yeah. We're going to do some other revisits at other ROC posts as well. There is more than 3 or 4 in Cornwall, and so yeah, we're going to. I'm not going to say where they are or anything, but if you're clever minded, you will get exactly where they are. But there's a couple that we've been made aware of where there's still artifacts still in situ, basically, and
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
we found all sorts of stuff in there, didn't we?
yeah,
You know, I mean,
so it's pretty
yeah.
good.
Jake's Great Adventures. Hello, mate.
Hi Jake,
Yeah.
I've seen you for a while.
Yeah, and yeah. So in the post there was some signs on there. They were typical sort of like
Hand painted.
hand painted
Yeah, yeah,
signs and
Yeah.
stuff, and a piece of the battery box
yeah.
was in there as well.
Adam found that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. It was face down in about 2 inches of water
Yeah.
in the toilet. Wasn't it?
Preservation's amazing because the writing is lovely and
Yeah,
clear, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's
You know?
great. Yeah, and maybe perhaps the lack of oxygen because it was
Yeah.
submerged or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember Monty found those toads, didn't he? 'Cause
Oh yeah, yeah. I let them go through.
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah. We were finding live toads in.
I'm glad we got them out. 'Cause
yeah.
they would have died,
Oh,
wouldn't
they would have been stuck in
Yeah,
there. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So obviously, yeah, but he's finding these little small toads and sending them up in a bucket, and Kerno was actually releasing them
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
into
yeah.
the hedge.
I know I said tomorrow, folks, we might be going further afield, but the weather's not looking very good at the minute. So
No.
I think tomorrow evening I might do a live stream.
Yeah, yeah.
Starting to build one of the model kits.
Yeah,
so
that's-
don't know if you're interested in that or no.
Yeah,
but-
oh yeah, one of the model
Yeah.
kits is great. Now I know one of Kerno's models. Oh, well, am I allowed to say what it is?
Of course you are.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, obviously, if
Bristol.
anybody's watched any of our videos, you know, where we've, you know, almost many months ago now, we've discovered. Well, we knew about one crash site, didn't we? Which is just down the road from here, actually, and we found another one as well, which was
Is it the same aircraft?
same type of
Oh, right,
aircraft.
right,
Yeah, Bristol Beaufort.
Yeah,
Which
so
is-
I bought a model from ICM, which is from Ukraine, and it's one of those aircraft. And the reason I bought it is basically to build it in honour of the air crews that didn't come back that were based here in Cornwall. Now, there's one not far from here in a valley, and of course, me and Adam discovered the other crash site, thanks to David, I think it is,
Yeah.
and his wife, over at Tregonning Hill. So,
Yeah, Tregonning Hill.
you know.
Yeah.
but we had, going back to the paranormal just briefly again, when we was there, because we were basically looking for it blindly.
Oh hell yes.
And
Yeah.
we got into this quarry, and the quarry where we got to is exactly where it
Yeah.
crashed. Adam went over to the left, but there was something telling me to go over to the right
Yeah.
and go further in. And when we did, mind you, it was a still day, no wind, but there was like a
Oh my god. Yeah.
very
Yeah.
weird like
yeah.
wind going around, and it was really cold. And I was filming at the time, and the camera picked up none of that.
No, none of it. It was like
So,
we only moved a few feet from where we were standing, and it was like you know, it was tremendously cold, you know, and yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right there, BCTV. Yeah, it's looking a bit dodgy for weather. Yeah.
yeah, so
Definitely.
you know, tomorrow
Yeah.
evening we're going to do a live stream, folks. It'll probably be well over an hour.
Mm.
It could even be 2 hours. So, you know, it's just talking about the model kits. I'll show you all the other kits we've got. We've got quite a few,
Yeah.
and but yeah, this one is quite poignant because of the connections from Bomber Command, which was at Nanskute, which is our
Absolutely,
airport tree,
yeah.
which is over in that direction, I think.
Yeah. I mean, not only did we find the crash site, folks, there was also a memorial up there, isn't there?
Yeah, we found
Which
that.
was we didn't know where it was, and what it was, it's a solid block of granite, which is part of a cliff, isn't it? And I believe it was sometime in the 90s we were shown a photograph of I think it was someone from the British Legion,
Yeah, yeah,
a standard, wasn't
Yeah.
it, that stood up
Yeah.
there, like, you know,
Yeah.
and they were they were actually you know.
Was it David and his wife? The reenactment chap.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
That was Chris, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Chris, Chris, yeah. So thank you, Chris, and your wife. Thank you very much for helping us to find that. Well, it was your wife, wasn't it, mate? So yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, we will be going back there before too long. I've got something planned for there, so it should be quite good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was told also that in the quarry, because there was lots of old farming detritus in there and asbestos and all that, but
Yeah.
I was told by someone else that there is some remains of that aircraft there, but we didn't see that. I do have a metal detector, but I don't really want to disturb that really, because it's probably classed as a war grave, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Classed as a war grave.
Yeah, so you can't really disturb things like that.
No,
you know,
no.
and I wouldn't want
But
to anyway.
I mean, you know, we did actually research the air crew as well, with their names and their ranks and stuff, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
it's all in the video. But
Yeah,
I mean, and I think when I left my own, well, we left our little tribute from us up
Yeah.
there with we cleaned we found the stone in the end. It was a hell of a tricky place, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
We washed and cleaned the stone and scrubbed it with a brush and some
Yeah.
clean water.
And we also put a RAF
Yeah,
flag
a
there.
little small RAF
Yeah.
pennant.
When I
which
went
we
there
left
last, which is
yeah.
about 2 months ago, that
Yeah.
was still there.
Yeah,
So
still there.
that's good. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's really good. So
Yeah,
there's also another crash site which we know about down at Land's End, which probably will go to it next year now, I expect. But I think it's a German aircraft, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
There's apparently somewhere down near Land's End. There's it was a Heinkel 111, HE 111, and it was shot down by an aircraft from Predanic, wasn't it? I think it was.
That's quite a trek. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Bloody
yeah.
hell.
And it was shot down, and the crew bailed out basically, and it was just basically it's in a field somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's all been removed, but there might be something.
It's been removed, but
Yeah,
I mean, normally with crash sites and stuff, you know, if it's somewhere really remote, then there's lots of like on the moors or something. There's lots of debris left on the
Yeah,
surface of the
Yeah.
ground. But normally after the war, I mean, if something went in hard, the chances are
that
it would
buried
just create a
itself.
big hole,
Yeah,
and they would only really remove what was left on the top and then fill
Yeah.
the hole in, isn't it? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
And that's. But I did see this video last night. There's a channel, great channel on YouTube, folks. It's called History Hunter. Have you seen that one?
History Hunter.
He's a-
World War II history.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah,
he's a German chap,
Yeah, I
actually
know.
in Germany. And he's-
Eagle Eyes and
yeah,
his son.
that's right. Yeah,
And
he's
Bunker Buster Girl.
yeah, he speaks amazing English, and,
Yeah,
he, and
he just finds loads of
he's
stuff.
such a nice chap. But
Yeah.
he went to the site somewhere in, I don't know where it was, in Germany, I'm guessing, but it was a bus shelter by a main road, and behind the bus shelter was this big sort of like hillside, and he went there with a metal detector, and within a few minutes he was finding supposedly this Messerschmitt ME 109 crashed there.
Bloody hell.
And within a few minutes, he was just finding, within a few centimeters of earth, he was finding bits of
That's
aluminium
crazy, isn't
and-
it? Crazy. Do you know
Yeah.
what? I've been watching World War II history for over 5 years.
Yeah,
You know, and yeah,
Mm.
the stuff that he finds, folks, is amazing. And at the beginning of each month, what he does is a giveaway, and he makes these dioramas
yeah.
with the artifacts that he finds, and
Yeah.
he gives them to his people.
And he's also got that little underwater drone, hasn't
Yes,
he?
yeah,
Yeah, you see that
R&B.
it's got like an underwater drone,
yeah, yellow
and it's
thing.
got like a little grabber on it as well. And I think I've seen him recover
He-
some Luftwaffe plates. Or
Yeah,
something,
that's correct.
And
Yeah, with the eagle on the
yeah,
back.
yeah.
yeah. Check him out, folks.
Yeah, check him out. Give him
World
a
War
sub.
II
Yeah,
history hunter.
very
And tell him
interesting,
that we sent you.
And the thing is, with that stuff like that, only gives me more sort of like
Encouragement to get
enthusiasm,
out there and do more, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also,
Links to the links.
you might have noticed that me and Adam did a tour of the Predanic anti-aircraft battery.
Yes, that is a new museum, folks, here
Mm.
in Cornwall. So if you're local and you've not been there, then we
Bobble on.
recommend it. But also anybody further afield, if you're going to come down to Cornwall at any time in the next year or whenever, it's it's definitely worth seeking out, isn't it? Because they've actually got some full size. Was it?
Anti-aircraft guns.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, yeah.
massive anti-aircraft
Yeah.
guns, Bofors guns, and it's all hands-on stuff. You can actually go and play with things and touch stuff.
And also they do have an Airbnb there, so if you're
Yeah.
interested in military things,
yeah,
then you
I
can.
believe it's. Is it sort of like some sort of NATO?
Yeah, it's a kind of living pod.
Yeah,
thing.
it's like a living
Yeah, yeah.
pod. Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty
So-
good though.
And of course, the lizard is a beautiful part of
It
the
is.
world as well. You know,
We
without
will
a
be
doubt.
going back,
Yeah.
folks. Now, Ian knows me and Adam fairly well,
Yeah,
and I was talking with him not long ago, and he knows that we're into the paranormal side of things. And I'm hoping to be able to go back to do a special paranormal session there one night. Ian has said to me that he's had a lot of things happen down there, so watch this space on that one.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, should be good.
Yeah. Damien Barworth says we used to camp out in the old Air 202 Air Tower in Wigley, Lincolnshire. I bet that was interesting. Yeah. Now, obviously, Lincolnshire is, well, most people probably know, it was the heart of Bomber Command. It's bomber country, isn't it? You know,
Just Lancasters.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Whitleys and Hamptons and all the big full engine stuff.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
you know, and also you've got Scampton up that way as well, and that's obviously Dambusters Airfield.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a museum? Is it?
Well, Scampton until recently was, I think it was a serving RAF.
Oh right.
base.
Oh, dear.
And I think it's recently closed as well, which is quite sad. The RAF have moved out of it now,
It's
and
not good, is it?
like everything, it's going to end up as flats or something,
Oh,
or you know,
no.
it's going to be obliterated sadly as
Oh,
well.
so
You
it's
know,
not good,
but
is it?
I mean Scampton, and yeah, you know, it's
So we are going to be heading up. I'm not going to say a date, folks, but
yeah,
probably next summertime. Going to head up to a couple of museums.
yeah,
There's one that's been on the list for a long time. That's the Black Country Living Museum.
yes,
It's
yeah,
in
yeah.
Birmingham.
The other one as well, we went to recently. It's the Cornwall Aviation Museum.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Now, this is something that's it's actually upset me, isn't it? Because
Well, as soon as we was there, we found out something.
yeah,
I'll
we
let
found
you-
out. Yeah, we went there. We had a brilliant day out. Obviously, videos of both of our channels is video, and I think it was a day later we heard the news. And to be honest, it's really pissed me off. To be honest,
Well, it's devastating.
Yeah,
You know.
it's Cornwall Council have decided to end the lease on because the museum is actually located on Newquay Airport, which is the former RAF St Morgan, or the flying side of it anyway. And there's these hardened sangers, which are
like
yeah.
overall shape hangers,
Yeah.
basically.
I think
Really
they
tough.
were nuclear bomb
Yeah.
proof, weren't they, to protect. I remember as a lad myself in the 1980s, there used to be American F-111s up there that were on like readiness, you know,
Yeah,
carrying the cruise missiles and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, they were in those shelters. Well, this is where the museum is, and they've got some amazing static, you know, airframes. Obviously, aircraft that can no longer fly.
If you're into aircraft,
Yeah,
folks,
yeah.
this is the place for you.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is.
They've
you know.
also got a full-sized, well, it's the real deal, a VC-10 air-to-air tanker, which we actually went on board, didn't we?
That was
And
something
had a
else.
look, and yeah,
When I was in the Air Cadets, David, if you're watching, you remember this, but we had our squadron outside of that, not that aircraft, but one like it. And if you're friends on Facebook, you've probably seen the picture. But yeah, it's a magic airframe. It really is.
yeah, Red Arrows, Damien, Red Arrows, mate, they're regular visitors to Cornwall and the
Yeah.
southwest. We've seen lots of air displays and stuff.
They were down Falmouth not that long
Yeah.
ago.
A Band of Forgotten Worlds, History Hunter, it's an awesome channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd imagine that camping out in a tower of an old bomber airfield in Lincolnshire. I mean, this is going back to the paranormal thing again, because I did actually read that there was an excellent book. I can't remember what it was called, Ghost Stations, and it was written by a guy. I think it was Bruce Halfpenny. It was
This has actually brought something else
a
to
book.
memory, actually.
and Ghost Stations. So it's all about you know, paranormal activity on airfields and stuff, and you know, strange, unexplained sort of happenings that, you know, in the air and on the ground. And
Sorry to
that
butt
sort of
in,
thing.
but there is one that is really active, and it's in Cornwall, and it's in North Cornwall, and it's RAF Davidstow.
Oh, David's Day, yeah.
And we haven't done that yet. I've done
Yeah,
it,
no,
folks, a few times.
I've
But
been up there many times, but I've never filmed it.
I did film it probably
yeah.
about three years ago.
Yeah.
But we got better cameras now, so
Yeah.
we can do a better video.
Back to I don't know why, but I read this thing in this book anyway, and stuck in my mind, and it was saying about the control towers. Obviously, if there is any paranormal activity on an airfield, a World War II airfield, then
that's the place.
Control towers is what did he call them? The keeper of memories or something like that.
Well, the thing is, it's the last kind of record of.
Excuse me. Yeah. I'm just gonna go and answer the phone, folks.
You're gonna have to nudge the camera. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna nudge the camera a minute. All right.
Yeah. So, control towers, folks. Now, just briefly going back to RAF Davidstow, it's been featured on quite a few YouTubers' channels, and I've been there myself, and it's high on the moors. It's basically right next to Bodmin Moor, and it's been reported on many occasions that the control tower there is extremely haunted. Now, I've been in there about 3 times actually, and you do get a sense of dread. And you can imagine, like Adam was saying, the last memories of like if you was in an aircraft, you was flying, you was being in combat with the Germans at the time. The last words that were spoken from that aircrew probably received in that control tower. So that's probably why a lot of control towers are active in many ways. It could be stone tape theory, it could be actual spirit. You just don't know, do you? But I think next year we're going to go back to Davidstow and have a good look around, because it is quite a good place, because there's still loads of ground buildings still there, and also there is a museum there, RAF Davidstow at War Museum, and it is brilliant. We're going to go there. I'm pretty sure that's on our to-do list.
Yeah. I've just got to pop in a minute, mate. So,
okay.
You carry on.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, that is on the list, folks. So also there's another area that we want to look at, and it's not far from Padstow. There's some World War II bits and pieces around there that we need to go and have a look at. So I was hoping to be able to get that done this year, but unfortunately the time is just, it's gone, folks. It's gone in the air, sort of thing. So yeah, time and tide wait for no man, as they say, isn't it? But yeah, so I can't see the chat at the moment, so Adam's had to disappear for a second, but he'll be back in a minute, folks. So this is Adam's man cave, and it's a beautiful spot, I must say, with all the lovely bikes in here and that. My garage is very similar, but it's basically controlled chaos. Currently, well, not currently, but I will be next year, finishing off our Bedford Rascal. I've got to do quite a few bits to it. Basically, I've got to buy some new tyres, and we've got to replace the bushes on the leaf springs at the back, because apparently they're just knackered. There's a little bit of welding on the front and a little bit of welding on the door, which isn't too bad. And then the pod, as I call it, which is the bit on the back, I've got to do a little bit of work on that. I haven't got to, but I'm going to change the colour of it to NATO green. I think that'll be quite good. Also going to put in a solar system. We've got quite a few bits for that already. We've got a charge controller, we've got an inverter, and I think we're going to get some decent batteries for that, probably 2 actually. I've got a diesel heater, but we're going to upgrade it to the newer type one, which is a little bit better. It's a Chinese one basically, but they've upgraded it to I think it's Bluetooth, so it's quite good. I want to replace all the cushions inside, so I want to take all the seats apart, keep the back of it, and get a memory foam mattress and cut it to the size of that, and then upholster it. That'll be quite good. I'm going to put a
TV in there, and we've really got some LED lights which are for caravans basically. So going to install those at some stage, and yeah, just basically improve it, you know. So that should be good. Yeah, so there we are really. So we've got something planned, folks, for Halloween. Not going to say too much about it, but it's basically me and a few members of the crew, and hopefully Adam can come along. I'm not sure if he can at the moment, but hoping to be able to bring something quite good. I think in hindsight that will be a pre-record because I'm not sure of the signal there, to be honest. I think the signal's going to be a bit rubbish. So we've got a little router thing, and it's from EE, and it works off a SIM card. So this is what we're using right now, and it does work quite good. But there is areas in Cornwall where you cannot get a signal for life or money, love or money, sorry. So yeah, so it you know, like in the valleys, like if you was in a valley, you can almost guarantee you're not going to get a signal, you know. So, but the device that we're using is I think it's called an Osprey. It's a little box. It's got a fairly decent battery in it, and I think it lasts for about 2 or 3 hours, you know, which is pretty good. And you can link 10 devices to it, and it's pretty good. You know, it's really good. I've never had a problem with it, apart from obviously the signal on different locations where I am. The signal does drop out, but virtually everywhere I've been, apart from there's areas down at the Lizard which you can't get a signal. There's a few places down West Cornwall which you can't get a signal, and I think there's a few places on the coast that you can't get a signal. But I suppose it's all to do with line of sight. I think it's got to have line of sight to the main aerial, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so I'm running out of things to say, folks. So I'm just waiting for Adam there a minute. But next year we're going to be doing some camping. I was meant to do a bit of that this year, but unfortunately, you know, it didn't really pan out, did it? You know, I'm sorry about that. Also, boat adventures. Now, I have been gearing up for that, and I'm in a position right now that we could take our small little rib out, but if we fall in, it's going to be bloody freezing. So yeah, I bought a new outboard for it. It's a 4-stroke. I think it's a 6-horse, something like that. So it's not that powerful, but it's enough for 2 people basically to basically start it up and send you up the river, if you know what I mean. I think, to be honest, when we do go out with a boat, that will be over at the Carrick Roads, which is the river that basically runs from Falmouth up towards Truro, basically, like, you know. So there's a few bits and pieces that I would like to go and have a look at, especially around where is it, on the Roseland side of it. There's a few interesting bits. There's a creek. It's tidal. That's the downside. So you're gonna have to catch the tide right, otherwise you're gonna be stuck there for 6 hours, basically, like, you know. There's like an old I think it's an old it does look like a mine site because there's a chimney there, and there's the remains of an old building. So I don't know, I think it was a brickworks, but I need to look into it a bit more, folks. We will be going up towards St Mawes, and there's the St Mawes creek that goes up. There's a couple of things there if you want to have a look at. And also further down the coast there's the Halford River. I would like to be able to get to a stage where we can actually launch the boat at Durgan or something like that, and then could just go up towards Gweek. That would be good. And we could probably stop at that old Victorian pier that we went to recently, the old Scout Hut. Hoping to be able to go back there at some stage. I'll have to ask the landowner again, of course. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank John and his mum and dad for allowing me to go down there and have a look. That was just magic. I will be in contact regarding that again, because there's some other things that I would like to have a look at around that area, but obviously I would like to get permission again, so I don't want to just go there again and just, you know, take the biscuit sort of thing. So yeah. So the thing is, trespass, folks. In case you're not aware, it is a civil matter, and yeah, I know sometimes it looks like I take the piss a bit, but I will seek permission, and 9 times out of 10 it is granted. But sometimes you just have to grab it by the horns and go with it, folks. And I am respectful. What I mean is, if I am stopped or confronted by the landowner, then I'll say, yeah, okay, sorry, I'm leaving, and I won't come back. You know, that'll be it, basically. It's like the other day, I was out looking for locations, and I wasn't told off, but in no uncertain terms, I was told that the land, it's a dead end. The lady didn't say that it's private or anything, but obviously I do know that it is. But now that I've done it, I won't be going back. You know, that's it for me. You know, I don't see the point of going back, because that's going to stir up a hornet's nest, isn't it? You know, and of course, like the law states, if you are caught or seen by the landowner and you're asked to leave, you cannot go back. And if you do go back, then you're committing an offence, and you can be prosecuted for that if you go back. But I don't take the biscuit, folks. You know, there was one comment the other night which was a bit rude, actually, and I've deleted it, and saying that I was trespassing on Carnbray Castle, which is a load of rubbish. You know, that bit where I was has been open to the public for years, and as far as I'm concerned, I'll go there whenever I want. You know, no one's going to stop me. So yeah. And everyone I've spoken to have said the same thing, and that's enough of that, folks. But yeah, so I blocked that person basically because I believe that they were wrong and they were out of order. So I removed it, you know. So don't know what else to talk about. I don't know how long Adam's going to be. I don't know if he's coming back. Hopefully he will. Well, he will be coming back. He'll have to. But yeah, so tomorrow night we'll be doing a live stream. We'll be building this Bristol bomber, and it's probably going to take a long time. Oh, that was a motorbike. I wonder what that was. I think the first bit we do, which will probably be over an hour, it could be a couple of hours. It'll probably be part one, and then later on we'll have to do a part two, a part three, maybe even a part four, because this aircraft is quite big. It's a 148 scale, so it's a decent size. What is that? Is that a spider? Oh no, it's just a bit of fluff. Can you see that? So yeah, you know, in the winter months, folks, when the weather is pants, we can't get out basically, and you know, I'm really sorry about that. But you know, it is, like I said earlier, it's really difficult to find locations. It really is. It's like the other night, you know, 3 locations and every single one was a fail. You know, but yeah, it's crazy. But I think we're going to go back to Madron Workhouse, possibly with some members of the crew, and we'll do a drone flight there. I haven't actually flown the drone for a few days, so if I get a window tomorrow, I will get the drone up and we will get a video. It'll probably be quite local to where I am, so it won't be that far away. It, you know, because I ride a motorbike, I am a lot weather dependent. I know I've got immersion suit and all that, but when you've been out in the rain for 2 or 3 hours with it up, constantly pumping it down, it's not a joke. It's not very nice, folks. I don't enjoy it at all, you know. I'm just going to see if you guys are chatting there. So just have a little look there a minute. So just squeeze by. Do we have many comments? Hello. Let's just see if we can see any chat.
Okay, right. Well, let's go and waffle a bit more, folks. Ooh. Hey. So, if anyone spotted our stickers out and about, let us know. I've got to the stage now where I'll only put one at a location, which is going to be um, quite an easy one to find. It's like the Trezevine branch that I did recently. I went a bit mad with the stickers, but they're all on things that I deem public, so you know it's kind of okay, I guess. But if I go to like an abandoned property, I'll put one on a lamppost, on a road sign, something like that. So you know, I've come to the conclusion now it's probably best just to put one sticker, you know, rather than loads, because I used to put loads all over the place and just put them anywhere and everywhere. But that that's not a good policy, I believe, folks. The stickers that we do use, it's said on them that after a time in the elements, they do biodegrade, so they will kind of like break down and disappear, basically. I did put one somewhere, and I had a bit of stick for that, so I went and tried to remove it. I kind of got it off, but my God, it was like welded to it. I had some job get it off, but yeah. So we have two other channels, folks. We have the blogs, which is the yellow. No, that's the outtake. No, what is it? I got the blogs and the outtakes. The blogs is the orange sticker. Now, let us know if you've seen any of those, because there's not many of them stickers around. They're really, really rare. I'm going to get a few of those made up. And then we've got the outtakes, which is the yellow ones. I've not had any of those made at all yet. So basically, the blogs channel represents what I like, and it's the music on some of the videos is like pop music. Basically, I use a bit of Taylor Swift, a bit of Dua Lipa and stuff like that, and a bit of Sigrid, and I upload them to that because that's what I like, sort of thing. But the other channel, the main channel, I use a group called PC3, which is pipe choir, and I kind of was introduced to that music from basically the Secret Vault, and he uses that quite a bit. And the music that they do is copyright free, so it's good that I use it. And I have noticed since I've been using it with the drone videos and that you guys are enjoying it, so that's kind of good. I noticed that some memory, some family members have really enjoyed the music that I've been using with that, so that's kind of good. So we did download some new tracks from that group recently, which I've not used before. So the new videos that will be coming in the future, we'll put those in. So that's kind of good. And yeah, so we are upgrading the drone, folks. At the moment, in case you didn't know, I've got two drones. I've got the Mini 2, and that's got the Fly More combo. And what that means is basically it's got spare blades and it's got extra batteries, so that means you can fly for longer. So because I do stick to the drone code vividly, folks. Like for instance, if I'm flying a town or over properties, I will use the Mini 2, and that is basically because it's unrestricted. You can basically fly it anywhere apart from controlled airspace, such as like schools, power substations, military sites, and airports, and so on and so forth. So I class myself as an advanced drone pilot. I am registered with the CAA, and I've got an operator ID and a flyer ID. So not everyone's got both of them. The operator ID is essential, you've got to have it, but the flyer ID is for more advanced people, like, you know, because I had to do an online test to pass out for that. So yeah, so if you're looking into getting a drone, then
you must have a operator ID, OP. You get it from the CAA, and you pay £9 and you're registered basically. But if you're a pilot, what I mean is where you've got a proper pilot's license, then I think there is a bit of a loophole there. So you kind of get away with it, I think. So it's kind of good. So yeah, the other drone, the main workhorse that I use for the big stuff is the Mavic Air 2, and it's a bloody powerhouse, folks. It really is. When I'm flying like that, I use a spotter, which is a member of the crew or the missus or my son, and they're in communication with PMR 446 walkie-talkies, and so that's why some of the videos that I do, because they're a lot longer than what you're really meant to do. If you haven't got a spotter, you've got no business flying no more than 500 meters. But if you've got a spotter and you've got eyes on it and you've got comms, then it's okay, folks. So that's why on some of the videos that I've done, such as like Portreif, where I flew from the north coast right out to Gold Rock and back, is because I had a spotter there, and we were talking over the radios. What I will do one day is I'll set up a GoPro on the tripod, and I'll leave that with the spotter, and then you can hear him talking over the walkie-talkie, so you can see exactly behind the scenes, folks. I think that might be good, mightn't it? So yeah, that'd be good. So yeah, we're going to get another drone, possibly 2 others next year. Early next year, we're getting the DJI Mavic Air 2S, which is the next version up from what I've got now, and it flies a lot quicker, and you can film for a bit longer, and it's got a lot more sensors on it. It's also got a built-in thing where if there's any aircraft close by, it will tell you aircraft spotted at blah blah blah, which is bloody awesome, folks. You know, the drones I got now don't have that, but that's because I've always got to scan about, and if there is an aircraft close by, then we'll keep it down low, and you're not allowed to go any higher than 120 meters, which we stick to that vividly, you know. So it's always best to toe the line, because there's always someone out there that don't like drones, basically. So yeah, it's all good. Later on next year, I'm going to get the Mini 3 Pro, and the reason I want that is because it's 249 grams, so I can basically fly it in towns and over people and anything really, apart from obviously controlled airspace. But the other good thing about it is it's like the bigger drone I've got now. It's got the optical avoidance, which is absolutely amazing. Now, a while back, I haven't actually done follow me mode for quite a while, but I did do it on the motorbike on the north coast, which is not a million miles from where we are, and it followed the bike brilliantly. I was so impressed. It was just amazing. So we're going to do some more of that, I think. I was over in a woods. I can't remember where the woods was, but that was the first time I used it. I was walking down through the woods and all these trees, and the drone actually flew around the trees. I couldn't believe it. I didn't do anything. All I was doing was just watching myself on the camera, and it worked like a trooper. It was amazing, you know. So yeah. So I'm hoping Monday or Tuesday, if the weather's good, maybe even Wednesday, we'll get some drone stuff done. Like we said earlier, I think this weekend is almost a write off because of the weather. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, isn't it, folks? The weather, as I said before on another video, in Cornwall, folks, in winter, we get a bloody hammering down here. We really do, and it's just not nice down here in the winter. There's a lot of folks that you know, move down from up country and that, and they spend a winter here, and they just go home basically, because the winters are harsh. They really are. And the worst of the weather comes from southwesterly, which I'm guessing is kind of that way, you know. Yeah. we go. So I'm hoping to work with some other YouTubers at some stage in the future. We have worked with a few this year, and but you know, not everyone's into what we do, kind of thing. Because I am a little bit into everything, really, folks. But my main passion is urbex and paranormal, and riding my bike and exploring abandoned properties. Now, to be honest, I think I've got to the stage now where I've almost extinguished most places here in Cornwall, and at the moment I'm finding it really difficult to find new locations. It is really difficult. Um, it's like we said earlier. Yeah, so yeah, we've got a few things coming, folks. We've got this Halloween thing that we're going to do, and also we've got an RAF site which I want to go and look at. I think Adam's been there before. Oh, he's back. I've been waffling shit, to be honest.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, all right, mate. Hello, folks. Just sort of look past me because I'm going to put the kettle on.
Oh, good man.
Yeah,
Good man.
I'm going to be putting the kettle on.
I would like to go up to an old RAF base near Newquay. That one next up from where we went.
Oh, you mean
Some,
the radar place?
no, that big airfield that the lady told you off.
Oh, St. Mirren.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
That
yeah.
is the next big one, folks, for me. It's not a flight control zone there because it's not an active airfield anymore. So I can actually fly the drone there. And that's one of the really big ones that I've got on the list, which I really want to go and have a look at. But I don't really want confrontation with the old lady that owns it. Sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that was a bit of a strange one. That was, folks. That was, yeah. No, I think what happened was I've actually been around
That's
that
Cornish,
airfield.
that is. What happened was.
What happened was, yeah, I've been around that airfield in the past, and I've actually walked all around it. I've checked out all the buildings, all of the. There's just so much left that's there. You know, you've got like hangars, you've got huts, toilet blocks with toilets still in them, and the skeleton of. I believe there was 2 control towers. One of them was being demolished many years ago, and there's one that's still standing. But there's actually no floor in the watch office.
All right.
It's really interesting. I've got to go a minute.
The force to be strong with that one,
Force
folks.
is strong.
Yeah, so St. Mirren, that is on the agenda. So, you know. Yeah, so that is a big place, folks. It's massive. And there is part of it which is occupied by kind of a holiday camp or caravan sort of thing. So we won't go to that bit, but we'll go to the bit because I've been studying Google Maps, and like Adam just said, there's a load of buildings there which are completely derelict, disused, and we need to do some research there, you know, and maybe even a little bit of paranormal as well. But I think the first kind of video we do there will be a drone flight because that is less invasive, if you know what I mean, because I can just get up 50 meters, because that's what I usually do, folks, go up about 50 meters and then just blast it into in sports mode to get to where I want to get, and then just to have a little nosy about and then blast it back again. But it looks like the last drone video I did, the Trezevine branch, which is an old railway freight line in Cornwall, in Redroof basically, that was being well received. So I'd like to thank you all for watching that. I'd also like to take this opportunity right now to thank all the new subscribers that have subscribed of late. Thank you, folks. That it means a lot. So, we do have members only content out there, so if anyone wanted to become a member, there is a few videos there, and some of them could be a bit controversial, but it's basically behind the scenes of I can't make it public, folks. It's just it reveals a bit too much, really, like, you know. But if you wanted to be a member, I think it's $2.99 a month for the basic package, and that pretty much gives you access to anything and everything really. You know, it's pretty good. So I believe that me and Two Wheel Exploration are going to do a Christmas special video like we did last year. We was at a pillbox not far away, and we did a fly up. We was with Darren. So if you're out there, Darren, hi mate. I think Adam's going to let you know when we do that, and you can come along again if you would like, mate. You know, you're more than welcome. So yeah, we're going to do a fry up again. Probably use the mess tin kits that we own, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so yeah, should be really good. I am getting a GoPro 10, folks. At the moment, we're rocking the GoPro 9. It's an awesome piece of kit, it really is, but I could do with having two, because there's stuff sometimes where I would like to do a locked off camera, and I've only got a limited amount of stuff, as you can imagine. So having another GoPro is pretty beneficial, really, because like for instance, if we're on the boat, I can have one on the bow of the boat filming everybody in on the boat, and obviously the chest mount, I've got it over there actually. I'm also going to get, because the one I've got now, it's got a little rubber case that I bought for it, but I'm going to buy two more, and they're orange, so you know they'll stand out, sort of thing, so we can know exactly where they are at any one time. I do have a one or two cameras, as you can imagine, but 9 times out of 10, most of them don't have a built-in stabilizer. Like this phone, when I'm live, if I'm handheld, it wobbles all over the place. It's just ridiculous. It really is, you know. So yeah, there we go. I don't know what else to say. Oh, getting a bit tongue-tied now. So yeah, going back briefly, touching the boat again. I haven't used it for 12 months, and I've been buying kit for it. We've got two little anchors, basically little tiny ones. They're only about that big, and the rope is attached to the bottom, and the bit of rope comes up to the top, and there's like a zip tie or cable tie. And the reason why it's like that is basically when you drop it in and it grabs the bottom, if it gets stuck, then you pull on it and it'll snap the zip tie, and therefore you can retrieve it basically without too much aggro. So yeah, it's pretty good. So I've got two of those, and I've got this new outboard which we bought recently. I've got a load of dry bags, and I've got some hand line for it and float line as well. Recently, I did actually buy a Garmin fish finder with GPS, so you can use it for navigation as well, which is pretty cool. And I do have a Cobra marine bound radio, and I am actually registered with Ofcom, and I do have a license for that, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, but I'm hoping next year will be the year where we use that. Basically, the boat I got is 3.5 meters long, and it's made by a company called Bark, and I think they're from Poland, somewhere like that. They're from Europe, basically. There's not many of them in the UK, and I bought it brand new from them. 2021, was it? Was it 20? I can't remember exactly when I bought it. I think it might have been 2020, summer of 2020. Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, or was it 2021? Do you know what? I can't bloody remember now. I think it was 2020 when I bought that. Yeah, and I had it imported from Poland, or was it Germany? No, I bought it from I don't know. I think the retail shop is in Germany, so it came from Germany, Deutschland, and yeah, it's pretty good, pretty damn good. Yeah, but, yeah, that's pretty. I can't remember. It's amazing. I don't know where the time's gone, folks. You know, what with the COVID situation, dare I say it, the last 2 years has been a bit of a blur, really. You know. So, yeah, you know what they say, don't you? Time and tide wait for no man. It's so true, it really is. Next year, we're definitely going underground again. Now, let's talk about underground stuff. We've been underground this year a couple of times already with Chris and David, and it was awesome, folks. Oh man, it was definitely an eye opener. The first one, we went down the mine that we went down before. We've been down this particular mine a few times, and I've got a lot of kit for that. I've got the cheaper harnesses. Basically, I didn't buy the Petzl harnesses because I couldn't justify spending all that money on a harness, something that you wouldn't really use. So I've got 5 harnesses, the cheaper ones. They're all right. They're okay. They do the job, but they call it SRT, folks. So that's rope access, basically. I know Abandoned and Forgotten Whales will know exactly what I'm on about. We haven't done a lot of that. Yeah, I know I've got the kit to do it, but I've only got it for safety at the end of the day, you know, because like some of the one that me and Chris went down the first time, there's a ladder way basically, and it's like that, and it's 2 sets. It's the first one is 80 meters down to shaft station basically, and then you go off into an adit, and then there's another shaft station. There's a ladder way going up, which goes up to where the winds was. A winds is a winder, folks, basically, and we haven't been up there. I don't really see the point going up there because you can't get out there because it's all sealed basically, you know what I mean? So I don't see the point. But we went down through the trapdoor down to bottom shaft station, and that was 100 meters all the way down on ladders. The ladders like that, but the ladders are suspended in the air, so there's like a gap in between all these like runners holding the ladder in, and geez, man, that put the shits on me, something chronic. But you know, every time we do that one, we're always roped on. It's just in case, folks, anything goes wrong. I do have descenders and I do have ascenders. I have a mechanical descender which has got a brake on it, but for that one we just use basically the figure of 8 because it's, you know, because the mechanical one, it's a hindrance. If you're not on it like real heavy weights, then it won't work properly, sort of thing, you know. But as long as we've got a rope there, then it's okay. But the thing is, with that particular mine, there is another way out, and that's the way that we know where it is, but we've not been out that way yet. So if you want to see some stuff in Cornwall, and this chap Ben has got balls of steel, folks. Now, if you search in Benocam, all one word, Ben has been down places where I would never go. You know, it really is next level stuff. So go and search out Benocam and say that Kerner EXP sent you. But he's got balls of steel. He really is. He's an all-round chap. He's interested in military stuff. He owns some military items. He does diving. So if you're into diving, he dives around all the shipwrecks. He's well into that. And he does paragliding, folks. He's got a microlight. Basically, it's a paraglider, but with an engine on the back. And it's what he does is next level. It makes me look like a amateur compared to what Ben does, you know. But he's a good bloke. So, you know, share the love, folks. Share the love. We like to share the love. So, yeah. But yeah, there's a few farms on the agenda. Tomorrow I was going to go to these farms, which are about 25 miles from where I live. But the weather is just, you know, it's no fun. It's being in the wet. It's just not fun, folks. I just don't fancy getting soaked through, really. So we'll probably do that early next week, more than likely. I believe Adam might be on the way back. Yep, here he is, folks.
Sorry, problems, Kenneth.
Everything all right?
Yeah. don't you want it, sir?
Oh, suits you.
You suit you, sir.
Oh.
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, just something I had to address just unexpectedly. But
All is good, don't worry.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
we're
how
all
many
good.
people are there. I've
I
got
know
no idea.
one thing, I need a cup of coffee, mate.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit dry in
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
throat,
know,
so I
it's-
think
it's
we're
all good.
going to come to the end of the video
Yeah,
soon
yeah.
because I've nearly exhausted myself.
Yeah, no, that's good. I sincerely apologise, folks. I had to dash off, but
That's all right, it's okay. I don't know how many
just
people are there.
sometimes 15 apparently. Yeah, so yeah, but it's hope you've had an interesting chat with us anyway.
Yeah, my throat's dry,
Yeah.
folks.
I'm sorry for leaving Kerno in the lurch, folks, and
That's all right, don't worry.
you know,
Don't worry.
but yeah, I'm just trying to sort it out as well. So
Do you have anything you would like to say?
yeah, I would just like to say thanks for everybody that's supported both of our channels, and
Thank you.
you know, and subscribe as well. And it really is great, folks. And to think that I had only had like literally 30 or 40 subscribers, and it's just kind of like snowballed over over the last few months. But yeah, thanks to all of you folks. All right, and we'll do our best to keep bringing you some good content and stuff. And
Yeah,
you know,
I was just saying to them that at the moment I'm struggling
yeah,
finding locations.
yeah.
and
I think
weather as well. It's not helping.
I think Kerno is a victim of you know doing as much as he can and running sort of out of
Well, I've been covering old ground a bit,
material,
you
yeah,
know, and I don't
yeah.
really want to do that too
and
much.
I'm a victim of not having enough time to squeeze everything in, folks. So I mean, obviously, when I started the channel well, a couple of years ago, I wasn't working. I didn't really have anything much going on the the work front. Bit of a dodgy situation, but I managed to pull myself through it anyway. And the channel has been a massive help, and it's been probably the only thing that's really got me through it, to be honest. And given me something to go for and something to keep sort of like looking out for. And of course, I've got an amazing mate, Mark here.
Yeah,
who's,
yeah, likewise, yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know if there's much more we can say, really, isn't there?
No,
No.
I've covered everything. I
Yeah,
can't think of anything
but,
else to say now, folks. I'm getting a bit
Yeah,
dry in the old throat.
yeah, that's it. I think we're going to call it a night. But
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Hope you
And,
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll be
Look
back
out.
soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be back at with Adam in the next week or two. Or
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
But, so
Yeah.
tomorrow evening, there probably will be another live stream from me. So I will give you all an update tomorrow afternoon to see when we'll go live. It will probably be about 8 or 9 for an hour or so. We'll probably get the interior of the aircraft done, and we'll probably get the fuselage together. So that will be part 1 of that build, and you can catch up later in the week. So I think all being well, there should be a new video after Saturday on possibly Monday. That's if the weather is okay, folks, because as I said earlier, I am dependent on the weather because I ride a motorcycle, as Adam does, and
Absolutely, yeah.
you know, when it's raining, like I said a minute ago, it ain't no fun. It's
No,
not
it ain't
fun.
no fun at all, folks. But here we go then. So
It's coffee time.
well needed refreshments.
Right,
anyway.
I'll get over there and end it.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, folks.
Excusez-moi.
From the shed, as they say in Cornwall, see you again.
Yeah. See you later, folks. Cheers and gone. How do I end this again? Bloody hell. I always get this wrong, don't I? Every bloody time.